I mean, maybe I'm as a designer, I have like a bias, but I love the about page. I go to the about page when I order pizza at a local place because I'm like,
What?
I want to. Yes, so I recently moved to Kansas City, so I've been trying to find new local foods and stuff. So I'm not ordering Domino's. I want to order from a pizza place that's nearby and small family owned. And yeah, I'm looking at the about page. I want to know kind of what their philosophy is and why they're doing this, how long have they been here? Like, as maybe as a designer, that's just
So when there's
kind of
data that
an
shows younger millennials only want to do business with those they feel are on the similar mission as to their own. I met you. I finally know which one someone. I'm like, that's
yeah,
not me. I just go to
even when
Google
it comes to
reviews.
pizza.
Yeah, I go to Google reviews. I'm like, how legit is this?
Well, and this comes back to like there's no wasted page on your website, or at least there shouldn't be any wasted page on your website. You're constantly like telling your story and finding ways to tell your story. Because think about this. Like you go to that pizzeria's website and you read the about page, you know, if it's poorly written, or it seems like it was written, I don't know, 40 years ago, it very well might have been, taken straight from the menu from the original owner. That tells you a story about that. That tells you
Mhm,
that like this is a shop that cares about like what they're doing. They don't care so much about like marketing and promotion. And maybe they're a little bit more old school. And that sets your expectations properly for that kind of pizzeria. Where
mhm,
another pizzeria where it's like maybe they're like, oh, we opened up in 2005. We only use the finest ingredients. We're like trying to get a Michelin star for pizza, and telling a different story. Set your expectations up for an entirely different experience. Both of them being good, because I've gone like there's a local pizzeria in my town that is like the owner is from Italy and barely speaks English, and great pizza. I love it. But I also go to a pizzeria where it's like, you know what? I want the chicken makhni, like Indian style pizza. Thank you.
mhm, mhm,
There's a financial advisor I know who I was talking to. Their firm. I mean, success is different for everyone, but for themselves, they're like, hey, we think we're doing pretty okay here, and there's a lot on our website. We want to simplify it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what do you want it to look like? They're like, just a homepage. It's our logo with the H1 tags, just who we are, who we serve, and like basically that's it. I'm like, how do they get in contact with you? They're like, I don't know. Maybe they need to already have our information. Like, we need that level of exclusivity. I'm like, okay, that's like bonkers. That's like crazy town, crazy town. Need a little bit more than that. So talked it through and said, okay, maybe like they can schedule time with you, but there's like the about section for them says, okay, like this is the kind of person we work with, our minimums, whatever else. And then if they want to get on our Calendly, well, what if we make it so it's like they can't even book something for like 3 months? And I'm like, jeepers. And sure enough, like if you create a website like that, you're going to attract a very specific client who's like, maybe they are ultra high net worth and they see that. They're like, oh, it's just a page, very simple branding, and they're booked out for a while. Oh, with good Google reviews, there's this level of exclusivity. I want that. And so this person who's like, hey, I want less business is now just booked up with prospect calls for months out. And you're just like, that's wild. There's like no information on your website, and everyone wants to know more.
Mm. With those artificial scarcity tactics, you have to be careful because they can backfire.
Interesting.
Like
Tell me more.
what if that multimillionaire is like, I'm going through a divorce. I need to move funds. Like, I need to have it happen soon. And I can't get on this person's Calendly for like 2 months. Time to move on to the next person.
Hmm.
mhm,
Um, and so like now, admittedly, I do not know that market. So I can't say whether or not like, taking the slow train is perfectly fine. And that you don't want to deal with like fast trains, um, It's entirely possible that that exclusivity does better for them, because every tactic that you use marketing wise pushes people away and pulls people in.
Mhm.
And the best marketing tactics pulls people in who love you and pushes people away who suddenly hate you because you've like drawn whatever line you've made. We can talk about that in a future episode. I love talking about that.
I'm
But
excited for that episode.
yeah, but artificial scarcity is one of those things that like if you pretend to be unavailable and then no one shows up, you know,